What's up everyone, EJ here, and welcome to the I Am Project, where as always I simply hope to spark a little bit of curiosity when it comes to consciousness. Today I want to talk about the blue collar awakening, finding spirit in the machine. Let's jump in. So let's talk about something that just doesn't get mentioned enough. Most people think spiritual awakening happens on a meditation cushion somewhere peaceful, maybe in a yoga retreat up in the mountains. Nobody expects it to hit while you're operating a forklift, covered in grease, or standing in a production line at 7 a.m. But here's what I've learned. That's exactly where it happens for millions of people around the world. Now, I want you to understand why this seems so impossible at first. Blue-collar environments feel completely incompatible with awakening, right? They're loud, they're chaotic, they're physically demanding. The culture is built on toughness and getting shit done. You've got ego-driven hierarchies, competition, zero tolerance for anything perceived as soft or spiritual. And there's this constant pressure to produce, perform, and comply. But here's the lesson. These environments are actually perfect for awakening. And I'm going to try to explain why. These places push us to our limits. The repetition, the physical exhaustion, the feeling of being a cog in the machine. These create the exact conditions that make us question everything. So let's talk about what that looks like. Understanding the awakening moment. Something triggers the shift. Maybe it's a sudden realization during mundane work that there is something more to all of this. Maybe it's a near-miss accident that makes you confront mortality. Sometimes it's burnout that cracks open your entire worldview. Or it could be a moment of profound presence while performing a repetitive task. Sometimes it's just years of quiet questioning that finally break through. When this happens, you've seen through the veil, and that's the moment everything changes. You've glimpsed the fabric of reality, maybe during a quiet moment, maybe during chaos, and suddenly the game everyone's playing becomes visible. The script people follow, the automatic reactions, the unconscious patterns. And here's the thing, you can't unsee it. So, what happens next? Everything feels different, but looks the same. You've changed, but your environment hasn't budged an inch. This hunger for understanding replaces your old motivations. Questions start flooding in, like, what is consciousness? What is reality? Who am I really? Who am I? And this is where it gets uncomfortable. Let me explain what I mean. Navigating the uncomfortable gap. People are going to notice the change in you. Your coworkers will sense something different. You don't engage in the same complaints and drama anymore. Your energy has shifted, and some people are going to find that threatening. You're less reactive, more observing. The old jokes and conversations feel hollow, and their discomfort becomes your problem. What's wrong with you lately? You think you're better than us? You'll experience subtle exclusion from the group. There's pressure to go back to normal, confusion about why you're not the same person. And here is what you need to understand. Your workplace doesn't have a framework for this. There's no HR policy for spiritual awakening. There's no safety meeting covering what to do when an employee realizes that they're the universe experiencing itself. The structure that governs your workday, punch in, perform task, punch out, has no room for existential transformation. So you're going to feel this tension naturally, and that's okay. That's part of the process. The tension between two realities. Let me paint a picture of what you're dealing with. The relentless pull of ordinary life keeps coming. 6 alarms because you can't trust yourself to wake up. Morning meetings about quotas and metrics. Pills for anxiety, depression, pain, and sleep. Taxes, bills, rent, and obligations. Workplace drama that feels absurd but demands your attention. The same conversations on repeat. Physical exhaustion that makes meditation feel impossible. But you've seen it. You know that there is something more. The curiosity won't leave you alone. So you're caught between 2 realities. And I want to be clear about what these 2 realities are. The consensus reality tells you, work, earn, consume, repeat, follow the rules, meet expectations. Don't question too deeply. Stay in your lane. Retirement is the reward. That's what everyone around you is operating from. But the reality you've glimpsed says something completely different. Consciousness is fundamental, not secondary. You are not separate from the universe. Time and space might not work the way you've thought. Your thoughts and attention shape your existence. There's an intelligence to existence that most people never notice. So how do you reconcile these 2? That's what we're going to work through together. So why is this so hard? The cultural programming. You need to understand something important. Social and cultural norms have buried these truths deep. We're conditioned from birth to see spirituality as separate from real life. Productivity and material success are positioned as the only metrics that matter. Anything that can't be measured or monetized gets dismissed. Masculine culture equates introspection with weakness. And the system needs workers, not awakened beings questioning the system. The indoctrination runs deeper than you think. Thoughts you believe are yours were actually installed by advertising, media, and education. Beliefs about what's possible were inherited, not examined. Your identity is built from external validations and social roles. And here's the biggest lie: the idea that you are separate individuals struggling alone. So when you start talking about this stuff, what's the response? Meditate. Pick up the hammer. Go to work. The fuck you talking about? Is a pretty good example of what you might hear. But listen, all right? Listen carefully. This reaction isn't personal. It's the programmed defense mechanism of a culture that needs people asleep to function as designed. Understanding this will help you navigate it. Now, I'm going to share something with you that once you really get it, it changes everything. You're not in the universe. You are the universe. Let that sink in. All right? We've said it a few times in different videos. Let it sink in once more. All right? You are the universe. Every atom in your body was forged in a star. Your consciousness isn't produced by your brain. Your brain is an antenna for consciousness. The observer and the observed are not separate. You are the universe observing itself, experiencing itself, knowing itself. This isn't philosophy. This isn't poetry. This is literal truth. So what does this mean for your work situation? Well, it changes everything. You're not a worker having a spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being having a worker experience. See the difference? The job isn't an obstacle to awakening. It's the classroom. Every interaction is an opportunity to practice presence. The chaos is teaching you to find stillness within yourself. This is the reframe that makes everything possible. Think about it from a quantum perspective for a moment. Reality is probabilistic, not fixed. Your observation collapses possibility into existence. Consciousness precedes matter. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're a participant in creation. And here's the key. What you focus on expands. So let's talk about how to apply these principles. Practical integration, the path forward. Here's the good news. You don't need to quit your job to continue awakening. The awakening happens inside, regardless of external conditions. Your job becomes a practice ground, not a prison. Every challenge is an opportunity to choose consciousness over reaction. You can be in the system without being of the system. Let me show you how. Start with the morning practice before the chaos begins. Even 5 minutes of meditation or breath work. Set an intention for your day. Remind yourself who you really are before the role takes over. Practice gratitude to shift your baseline frequency. This anchors you before the world makes its demands. During the workday, find what I call micro moments of presence. Feel your breath during transitions. Observe your reactions instead of being consumed by them. Treat difficult people as teachers, showing you where you're still reactive. Find the stillness beneath the noise. And remember, this is temporary. The shift is happening. After work, create decompression rituals to shed the day's energy. Study and explore. Things like books, videos, podcasts of consciousness. All right, it doesn't really matter. Whatever catches your eye, explore it. And connect with others on the path if you can find them, and you will find them. Even if it's just online. I would love to talk to people. Comment your experience. Share it. Right? We're all in this together. Express creativity of what you've learned. Journal to process your insights. This is how you integrate what's happening to you, and it also helps to kind of cement it, right? If you're not keeping track of the stuff, if you're not journaling, if you're not even writing down the dreams or writing down the things that happen to you or what you're grateful for, you're gonna slowly kind of like forget. This kind of it really does anchor you. So these are very practical steps. Understanding your transition. I want to reframe something for you right now. You're not stuck. You're in transition. The awakening is the beginning, not the end. Your current situation is showing you what needs to shift. You're building new neural pathways and energy patterns. And what you're becoming will naturally outgrow where you are. Trust the process. And here is what you need to know about conscious creation. Your attention is your most powerful tool. What you focus on during your limited free time matters enormously. Small, consistent actions compound into massive changes. You're not forcing a new life, you're aligning with it. The universe responds to your state of being, not your desperation. Remember that distinction. So, how do you apply this in a blue-collar context? Use physical work to ground the spiritual insight. Let the repetitive task become moving meditation. Visualize your desired reality during mundane movements. Trust the process while taking aligned action. Know that this job is temporary, but the awakening is permanent. This is how you bridge the two worlds. You're part of something bigger. I want you to understand something. Again, that's very important. You're not alone in this. Millions are waking up in unexpected places right now. Blue collar awakening is a real phenomenon that's growing. Cultural norms are beginning to crack. More people are questioning the script than ever before, and your awakening contributes to the collective consciousness. Think about why this matters now. The old systems are becoming unsustainable. People are exhausted from performing roles that don't fit them. The hunger for meaning is reaching a critical mass. Technology is connecting awakened individuals across traditional divides. The blue-collar world needs conscious people to transform it from within. That's you. You're part of this shift, the mindset shift you need to make. Now let me give you the fundamental shifts in thinking that need to happen. From I'm a worker who sometimes thinks about spiritual stuff to I'm consciousness itself, currently expressing through the work experience. That's shift number one. From this job is preventing my awakening to this job is the perfect condition for my current lesson. That's shift 2. From I need to escape to be free to freedom is an internal state that I can access anywhere. That's shift 3. And from enlightenment is somewhere else, sometime later, to presence is available in this moment, even here. That's shift 4. And here's a core realization that I want you to take away. You are the universe observing itself, right? We're going to be repeating that a lot, right? This isn't poetic language. It's literal truth. Every moment of awareness, even in the most mundane settings, is the cosmos waking up to itself. Your awakening at a blue-collar job is as valid and profound as any monks in a monastery. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Embracing the full experience. You can honor the spiritual truth and pay your bills. You can be awakened and still learning. You can see through the illusion and participate in it consciously. You can work with your hands and expand your consciousness. You can be exhausted physically and alive spiritually. These aren't contradictions. They're the paradox of being human. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Show up with integrity. Even when the job feels meaningless, treat people with compassion, even when they're unconscious. Perform your work with presence, even when it's repetitive. Maintain your practice, even when you're tired. And trust the process, even when progress feels invisible. The goal is not perfection. It's consistent intention. It's not escape, but transformation. Not rejection of the human experience, but full embrace of it as a vehicle for consciousness to know itself. That's the work. Your action plan. 3 simple steps. Let me give you guys a simple action plan that you can start today. Step 1. Anchor your mornings. Create 5 to 10 minutes of a morning practice. This could be breath work, meditation, setting intention, or gratitude. Do this before the world demands anything from you. This is your foundation. Everything builds from here. Step 2. Practice presence during work. Set reminders throughout the day to pause and breathe consciously. Choose one recurring trigger at work and practice observing it without reacting. Treat your entire shift as a moving meditation. Let the work become your practice, not your prison. And step 3, integrate and expand after hours. Spend 10 minutes journaling about your insight and observations. Engage with one book or podcast or video about consciousness each week. Begin visualizing your next level reality for 5 minutes daily. Connect with at least one person who understands this journey. It could be here. I'm willing to connect with anybody. And start a side practice, a study, or a skill that aligns with your awakened vision. That's it. 3 steps. Simple and profound. Trust that your consciousness is creating new possibilities. Take aligned action when opportunities appear. Release attachment to specific timelines. And remember, you're not fixing yourself. You're remembering yourself. And stay curious, stay committed, and stay awake. Now, bringing it all together. Let me bring this home, all right? I know this is a tough spot to be in. You could even say I'm in it right now. You're awake in a sleeping world, seeking truth in a system built on distraction. But I need you to understand, right? This is exactly where you're supposed to be right now. You don't have to have it all figured out today, right? Confusion and clarity are going to alternate many days, many times, and maybe in a day, especially during the week. Imagine in a year. Some days you'll feel deeply connected. Other days you'll feel completely lost. The path isn't linear. It's a spiral. But every moment you choose awareness over automatic counts. Every single one. The awakening that happened to you wasn't random. It's calling you towards something. The blue-collar job, the difficult condition, the cultural resistance, these aren't obstacles. They're a refining fire that's forging something new in you. You are the universe observing itself. In the noise of machinery, in the exhaustion after shifts, in the moments between tasks, consciousness is waking up to itself through you. That's not small. That's literally everything. So, love this beautiful human experience. All of it. The struggles and the breakthrough, the doubt and the knowing, the hammer and the meditation cushion, the taxes and the transformation. It's all part of awakening. And do your best, regardless. That's the work, that's the path, that's awakening. All right, just do your best. You've seen through the veil. Now you get to live what you've seen, right where you are, until where you are naturally evolves into where you're going. The blue collar awakening is real. You're proof of it. Keep going. And remember this above all else. You are exactly where you need to be. That's it for today, guys. I hope this was entertaining and useful. Please like and subscribe if that's the case. And until next time, remember you're loved and have a good one.